Well, hello friends, it's your favorite internet tutorial guy, Nadian Sands here for another very exciting episode of Learn How to Edit Stuff. So recently you guys have been asking a lot of questions about what music I use for my videos. And I thought that doing a video about browsing Premium Beat and Audio Jungle and Music Bed would be super boring. But it just so happens that last week I found something really cool, Stro. Now apparently they've been out for a while and maybe I'm late to the game, but the software that they've created is incredible. It pretty much allows you to create and compose your own music to use for your videos. And now the beta version has a built-in plugin for Premiere so you can compose directly onto your timeline. So today I'm going to be showing you guys Stro and how amazing it is as a tool to create your own music. Oh yes, that is little me on this coffee cup. Also foreshadowing. All right, first you're gonna wanna go to filmstro.com and you wanna check out the website and everything they have to offer. Now, Stro, I believe, will give you 5 free themes to play around with and just kind of see if you like the program, but this does cost money. Yes, there's a plethora of free music on the internet, but you don't really know who owns the copyright and it's very confusing. Then there's like lower tier songs that cost like $5 or $10 and they're usually pretty terrible. Then there's like middle of the road ones that cost $50 that are like pretty good. And then there's like the upper tier ones which are like $200+ and unless you have a lot of money to spend on this stuff, you probably won't be touching that. Now what I signed up for cost $25 for 2 months at Stro, which is $12.50 a month. That's less per month than what you would spend on like a middle tier song. So check out the website, check out the pricing, and then download it and make sure to install the Premiere plugin. Now once you've installed it and downloaded the library, you're gonna wanna open up Premiere and come up to Window, Extensions, and then click on Stro Beta. And then it will open up the plugin, it'll give you some stuff here, and then you just click the X, and now we are rocking and rolling. So let me just walk you through the interface. Up here we have the time in and time out, which is where you set your in point and out point to tell the plugin where you want your music to start and stop. Over here on the left-hand side, we have the different music categories that you can choose from. Then once we get into it a little bit later, we will be using the editor and I will show you how to properly save your session. But for now, we're gonna stay in library mode. And last but not least, click on this little wrench. And there are 2 important buttons in this little wrench submenu. It's performance, so depending on what kind of computer you have, if you're running like a super beefy PC, you can run it on high. Since I'm on a MacBook Pro, I'm gonna try to run medium, or if you're on a lower tier computer, just kind of pick and choose. You'll see the difference once you start using this plugin. I'm gonna click on medium, and the other one is play with video. Now, I can't click on it right now because you have to do one thing first. So let's jump into composing our own music. Down here on my timeline, I just shot a bunch of slow-mo stuff of my morning this morning. So I've got the blinds opening, I've got some stuff outside, it's a beautiful day, me making coffee, fantastic, me making breakfast, amazing. See, foreshadowing, I told you, look at that little mug. That joke works 2 ways. And everything is in slow-mo until we get to this point right here, and it picks back up into regular motion, and there's me doing some push-ups and lifting some weights. Awesome. So, we want to score this because I currently have no music on the timeline. So what I'm going to do is go to the front of my timeline. I'm going to come up here to Stro. I'm going to click this little button that says time in, and I'm going to go to the very end, and I'm going to click time out like that. And now if I go back into my wrench, play with video is activated. So I can click on that, and now it will let me demo songs in the library and watch the video at the same time. So let's check that out. Let's go over to film and video genre, and I kind of want it to be magical morning feel, so maybe something like Ariel or Awesome Nature. And in here we can start demoing songs. Now one thing to look out for is under the tags, it will tell you kind of what the song will feel like. It will have the BPM, the time signature, and the key that it's in. Awaken may trigger my curiosity here, so I'm gonna click the play button, and in here you'll see a couple different things. Let's pause this real quick. There's 3 different sliders that you can use to compose your music. There's momentum, depth, and power. Now, momentum, from what I found for the most part, is how slow or fast the song feels. So down here is gonna be slower, up here is gonna be faster, and right in the middle is kind of your middle ground. Depth, from what I've seen so far, down here is more of the high-end frequencies, and up here is more of the low-end frequencies, and somewhere in the middle is a nice balance. And power usually just brings in the drums and just makes the song feel infinitely more powerful. And you can demo these things while your video's playing. So let's come back in here, let's click play. And I'm gonna turn all these down. So we have this cool, like, ethereal violin kind of sound, and if I crank up momentum, check out what happens. It brings in that piano that's making it feel a little bit more fast. And I'm gonna crank up depth here. If I go all the way over, you'll hear that it's just the low-end frequencies. And if I come back here, and if I go power, check this out. So now imagine for a moment. There's hundreds of songs in the library, and each one of those songs has those 3 sliders. Literally thousands of combinations that you can tailor make to your video. Now, I've been doing video editing for a really long time, and I have always struggled with finding music because it kind of just puts you in a box. You find a song that you like, and then you kind of have to edit to that song because there's not very much you can do as far as changing that song. But now with Stro, it allows you to find the vibe that you're going for first and then tailor make the song to fit the video. That's insane. But we've just merely scratched the surface. Let's keep going and jump into the editor mode. So let's say I want to use this song that we demoed here. I'm going to click on the plus button, which is Use Theme, and it will jump me over into the editor view, and then here you see we have the same 3 sliders again. Now what this is going to allow us to do is if I click play, it will start playing with the video, and in real time I can adjust these sliders and you'll see that it'll start mapping itself down here over the course of my video. So here you have a little playhead that you can kind of scrub in the song. And here you have momentum, depth, and power. So if you wanted to, you can come down here and you can actually set keyframes and just kind of do it manually if you want. But for me, the coolest part about this is actually doing it in real time. So I'm gonna map this whole thing out in real time and let's see what we get. So as soon as I start pouring the coffee, I'm gonna crank up the momentum because that's where I want it to kind of get started. So here comes the coffee clip. And I'm gonna wait till over here where it goes into real time until I really crank up this power. Maybe I'll start teasing it right here just a little bit. All right, and here comes the coffee stir. Ready? Fantastic. So if you come down here and you look at what we did, if you click on the little momentum button, it'll show you the keyframes that we mapped out in real time. Same with depth and same with power. Now say you're immediately happy with what you did first, which is probably not going to be the case, but let's say for the sake of this video that you are happy. So what I would do is I would come over here, up here to the save session bin, and I would just save the session. And then if you come over to sessions, you'll see that it has the theme here, from the album, and it has your time in and time out, and then you can start a new session and then come over here and open this or delete this. So always save your session. You never know what's going to happen. The plugin is still in beta, so like you don't want to lose work. So let's pop back over to the editor, and to get this song out of the plugin with all of the things that you did here on the timeline, all you got to do is click on the render button, and it will render a version of your song, and all you do is click and drag it into your timeline, and it will come down here. Here's all of our waveforms and everything, so we can just play this. Make sure to turn off the play with video thing or else it'll start playing double. And now. This plugin is literally insane because what you can do is you can just develop the whole feeling and everything of your video and then go in and make your fine adjustments, which is not something that you can traditionally do with other music sites. So jumping back in the editor view, you've already set all of your depth, momentum, and power keyframes to kind of go along with your video, but say you're not happy with this theme anymore. The coolest part about this is if you go back to the library and you come over here, maybe waiting, getting ready, and challenge ahead. So if we click on this and we click on the plus to use the theme, it will already encompass the work that you did in previous tracks, which should mirror what's going on in your timeline so that you can come over here and you can actually play and demo new tracks with all the work that you've done. Everything in the Stro library is royalty free, and there is a pricing option to pick if you want to monetize your YouTube videos. Now, just a disclaimer, Stro has not endorsed me for this video. They have not paid me in any sort of way. I stumbled across this by doing my own research, and I thought that it was absolutely amazing. It still has a long way to go as far as like working out the kinks, but so far, this is the most fun I've ever had finding music for videos. $25 is not that much to spend for 2 months of experimenting with a pretty amazing plugin. Also, if you want to follow me on social media, at @NaughtyandSans on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. I hang out there sometimes, you know. Social media 2017, it's kind of like a... Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also check out last week's video. Usually I do something funny here or like tell you to click, but maybe I'll just drink this coffee. So click on one of these things. Hell yeah. Subscribe. Ho-ho!